She was standing in my kitchen wearing my shirt, and nothing else, and for a few seconds I forgot how to breathe. But what broke my heart wasn't what she was wearing, it was the look in her eyes. She looked like someone who had finally run out of places to hide, and somehow my little apartment had become the last place where she felt safe. Her name was Emily. She was 29, intelligent, independent, and the kind of person everyone assumed had her life perfectly under control. I was 31 and had spent the last 3 years rebuilding my own life after losing almost everything that mattered to me. We had known each other for months, first as neighbors, then as friends, and eventually as two people who had started depending on each other without admitting it. That night, heavy rain had trapped us inside after Emily arrived at my door completely soaked. She had been crying, though she tried to hide it. I gave her a towel and my clean shirt while she dried off. I expected her to change somewhere private, but when she eventually walked into the kitchen, she was wearing only my oversized shirt. The moment could have been awkward, but her expression made it impossible to think about anything except what had happened to her. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and being there for someone when they have nowhere else to turn, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to Kindness Spacy. Sometimes one small act of kindness can become the reason someone keeps going. Emily had spent the entire evening trying to convince me that she was fine. But I had learned something during my own difficult years. People who say they are fine too quickly are often the ones who need someone to stay, so I didn't pressure her. I made tea, put a blanket around her shoulders, and simply sat nearby. Eventually, the truth came out. She had lost her job that morning. Not because she had failed, but because the company had suddenly closed her department. Then she had discovered that the apartment she had been renting was being sold, giving her almost no time to find another place. Her savings were nearly gone because she had been quietly helping her younger brother with his education. She had been carrying everything alone because she was afraid people would see her differently if they knew she was struggling. I understood that fear. 3 years earlier, I had been the one who needed help. After my father died, I had fallen behind financially while trying to keep his small repair shop alive. Friends disappeared, bills piled up, and eventually I had to sell the shop. I remembered what it felt like to stand in an empty room and wonder how life had changed so quickly. That was why I didn't ask Emily why she hadn't told me sooner. Instead, I told her she could stay as long as she needed. She stared at me as though nobody had ever offered her something without expecting something in return. The next morning, she woke up on my couch and found breakfast waiting. For the first time in weeks, she smiled. Days turned into weeks. Emily began searching for work while helping me around the apartment. She repaired little things I had ignored for months. I helped her update her resume and prepare for interviews. Slowly, the sadness in her eyes began to disappear. But just when things seemed to be improving, I received an unexpected job offer in another city. It was the opportunity I had been waiting years for. Better salary, better future. A chance to finally rebuild everything I had lost. Yet accepting it meant leaving Emily behind. I didn't tell her immediately. She noticed anyway. One evening, she found the offer letter on my desk. She read it silently and then looked at me with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. She told me I had to take it. She said I deserved a new beginning, but I realized something that frightened me. Somewhere along the way, my idea of a new beginning had changed. Emily wasn't a burden standing between me and my future. She had become part of the future I wanted. The night before I was supposed to give my answer, Emily packed her few belongings. She told me she had accepted a position in another city and would be leaving the following morning. For the first time, I understood how quickly people can disappear from your life when you are too afraid to tell them how much they mean to you. I found her standing by the door with my old shirt folded carefully in her hands. She said she had borrowed it during the worst night of her life, and somehow it had become a reminder that she wasn't alone. I told her she could keep it. Then I finally admitted what I had been too afraid to say. I didn't want her to leave. There was no dramatic kiss, no perfect movie ending. There were simply two exhausted people standing in a quiet apartment, realizing that love sometimes begins not with fireworks, but with someone staying when everyone else walks away. Emily stayed.